Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. This is for the small group communication discussion board post. So whenever I'm in a small group and the information in the text was relevant for me because I do work with a small group of leaders here at my job. Whenever I'm in a small group, I usually take on different task roles and building and maintenance roles, depending on the situation that the group is in or the needs of the group. But I realize that I orient towards certain roles. For example, for the group task roles, I either orient towards being the initiator and the contributor, or the evaluator and the critic. The initiator and the contributor, I usually give new perspective on old ideas, old strategies, old goals, and I've tried to build on those. For example, I'm a part of an older church. It's been around for 100 years, and so when I take on that role, I look at the old strategies of the church, the old goals, how things were done, the procedures, and I try to build on those and help the group to think about where we could be headed. As the evaluator and the critic, I usually give feedback on people's ideas, and I question the logic and the practicality, as the book put it, of those ideas, of the work that the group does. And I usually do that because my mind thinks in a logical sequence. And I try to make sure that those ideas don't have any pitfalls for the future. For the building and the maintenance roles, I'm usually the encourager, the harmonizer, and that's mainly because I don't like conflict. I try to avoid it as much as possible before it happens, and sometimes even to a fault, because I realize that conflict can be a good thing for a group, and so sometimes that's even to a fault. But I do try to keep the group together as much as possible. I try to keep the peace. And then lastly, I realized that I have taken on individual roles in groups before. This hasn't happened where I work now, but I have done this before. And if I do that, I usually orient towards being the dominator because I have a leadership personality. And sometimes it's a special interest pleader. And so the dominator is the one who tries to take over the group when really the group should be based on consensus. Everyone has an equally valued opinion and voice in the group. And then special interest pleader is when you take what the group says or the group's ideas and say this doesn't fit into this group, instead of just working in that group. And so I have done that sometimes. Thank you very much.